you guys doing?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. MasterBoris is back with another stream. Welcome to the channel on the YouTube side of the game, and welcome to the channel, the live stream on the Twitch side of the game. I'm your host, MasterBoris, and I'm tired as shit. Yo, I'm freaking tired, man. So just bear with me, man. I had a long day. Okay, but we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. You know, it is coming a time where you have to be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the type of people that you invite into your space on the stuff that you're doing on the internet or outside. You are inviting certain types of people, you know, that's going to be in your presence. So, for those of you that are living under a rock and don't really care about this internet stuff like that, so Twitch had a con this past weekend. I was planning on going, actually. I was planning on going to TwitchCon. But I was just like, no. This shit look ass. And I was right. There's a lot of Twitch streamers that didn't go to TwitchCon to various reasons. And mostly the reason is safety. How can you go into a platform where you make your bread and butter and there's no safety in infrastructure and within the vicinity of where TwitchCon took place at? Like, I don't even understand that. Like, Dan Clancy, man, hey, what's going on with this, man? You supposed to take care of your people, and you doing a terrible job at it. See, man, we already went through all this stuff about streamers and how they are and how they are funded, and some of them are plants, not all, but some. And, you know, and I talked about in other streams that, you know, gaming on Twitch is not really the answer. It's really me doing like streams like this or just acting goofy because, you know, when you are a quote unquote black person that likes to shuck and jive for the camera, you tend to get more of an audience. You tend to cross over because you are a non-threatening, you know, brother. Well, not a brother in my book, because most of them be on some self-hating stuff and don't, you know, trust their own people, and will probably rat on them any chance they get. Probably rat on you, and you know, they look exactly like you when it comes down to the hue of our skin. But all skin folks that are brown and kin folks. Bear with me, guys. I am tired again. But you gotta understand, man. It's just the way how it is, man, on this platform. I cannot believe that I'm talking this way on Twitch. But I can do that because I'm MasterBoris, and I'm gonna say what needs to be said. You know, you can't have a con and don't have protocol, safety protocols. It's just, Like, what are you doing at this point? You might as well have the con outside of the hood or something. If we're getting this type of occurrence when it comes down to events where men are going after, these female content creators and try to SA them or do whatever. There's some crazy people out here in this world that has demonic issues within themselves. And they're just playing weird. And the type of content some of y'all girls be doing, you invited those types of people. I tell you, people that likes anime, that likes to cosplay, that likes fighting games, all these communities, the FGC, the anime community, and cosplay community, and when it comes down in this country, y'all are in the same box. And I probably said that before. Y'all are in the same box because y'all intertwine with each other in those types of events I just mentioned. The Comic-Cons, the cons, the cosplay, comic, anime, events, and fighting game tournaments. Y'all do. I mean, it's too many weirdos, man. And a lot of these weirdos are paying girls money, and an immense amount of money. And these chicks are never going to meet them or smash them. I just don't understand that thing. I don't know. Guys get off of paying girls that they don't even know a lot of money just to get their attention. Like, what? Like, you chasing validation like that as a man, you are sad. I'm sorry. That's just sad. At least pay to get some of that, cat. You not even doing that. But I digress. So we got a problem at TwitchCon, and I'm pretty sure everybody know this. Streamer go by Imaru had a little debacle, but her security guard saved her. But we gonna get into the video, man, because I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because there's a lot of things I want to talk about tonight before I crash out. Not like actually crash. I'm talking about like crash into my bed because I'm tired. Hold on. Osmond Gold was talking about this and about the Imaru situation. I did see a little bit of her video talking about the aftermath of it, and it's just one of those things, man. Like, apart, cause I be seeing a lot of her clips on Twitter all of a sudden. Like, it just seems like I don't want to say that whole situation of her getting attacked was planned, but why would you plan something like that? Why would you plan on something like that and clout chase or something like that? And if you already a big streamer, that's just why I don't understand. But you got people that really likes this internet clout, and they'll do anything for clicks. So that answered my question right there. But if that was the case, if that was staged, if she really planned this scenario to happen, and he know, dude, and also the Twitch people got her security, her favorite security, fired and out of there, then that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. Like, I don't follow her content, but I am assuming that she is a cosplayer, content creator, and does play video games. I hope that's it. That's all she does, Imaru. But we're going to see this short clip of Osmond Gold, because I wanted to know what he has to say about it. But
what are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year.
Wrong screen.
Just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
Yeah. So I mean, the safety of our creators is a top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society.
That is cap.
Twitch, it extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're
doing a poor job of safety, my friend.
Control your community and you can ban people. You can make it so that those.
What's up, CG Khan?
Engaging with you and participating with you they basically don't bother me. Okay. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that, we care deeply about securing this environment. We're looking very closely at everything that happened there. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry and helping.
Leaders in what? What are you leading in like a harassment, like stalking? I don't even understand, like...
Just to give you a sense of the monumental fuck-up that transpired yesterday, the video of the incident comes out and goes omega viral. Twitch releases a statement about it, stating they have zero tolerance for harassment. Emira drops a tweet stating Twitch has lied about the whole thing. The person in the video that protected her was her own security, while Twitch's security completely ignored what happened, or were even laughing, letting the person just walk away and leave the convention. After all of this.
Okay, now I did see, clips of Imaru saying stuff like that, but then I seen where, okay, this whole scenario could be planned for clicks and for, I guess, sympathy points for her and stuff like that. I don't know what to believe, man. I'm kind of half and half. I'm kind of want to lean towards it was staged. But this can happen to any girl. Shoot, to any man. Nobody wants to talk about how men get, like, harassed and abused and stuff like that. Or get punched, get stole on. And come to think of it, the freaking guy that went up to her, I don't know what he was trying to do. He was trying to kiss her or bite her on the neck like he a vampire or something. I don't know what he had going on, but it looked like he wanted to kiss her. But her security guard got it. But here's the thing, though, man. Dudes, let me tell you something. You don't go to girls doing that. You don't go to chicks to do that, to introduce yourself by doing that, by harassing a chick that you don't even know and you don't know what she got in her pocket. Like, what? That's just stupid. Like, but a lot of these chicks, fan bases are guys like him. I hope you realize that. The stuff that you do when it comes down to whatever content that you're doing that are maybe risque or, the OnlyFans type of stuff, you have fans that are like that. And I hope you realize that. Like, if you are here busting it wide open for everybody to see on the internet, you got fans that would do what that guy just did to Imaru. Like, you create those type of fans. You think it's fair game. They think it's fair game to you because the stuff that you do on camera. And it's not. It's not, because it could be unwanted. So, but a part of me saying that this whole scenario is that, okay, I see what the deal is. I'm getting drop frames out of the ass. Guys. Yup. Twitch doesn't want me to talk about this. I get it. Messing with the bandwidth. Yeah. But I'm on YouTube as well. Yeah. We're going to talk about Mr. Dan Clancy. The CEO of Twitch. You need to make a better ecosystem and a better environment for this site, my friend. You do. Because MasterBoris said so. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? What is this site about for real? I thought this site was about gaming and interacting with friends. Apparently not. And we already went over this. So, I'm not gonna beat on a dead horse, okay? Like, all these IRL content, like, bro, like, it's like you got to do the most to get noticed on Twitch. You gotta do, especially if you are quote unquote black content, you gotta shuck and jive. I mean, I know how to be funny by just dancing funny or just, you know, do something or saying something funny, but I'm not gonna, like, super cool my way out of this. No. Yeah. Like most people that are on top right now. And they take racism to the chin and don't do anything about it or don't check those people because those people write their checks every day and making millions of dollars. But the whole Imaru situation is very unfortunate. Now, granted, I'm 50-50 now. Because, you know, this could be something that she created as a scenario to get clicks, to get a press. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff about her on my Twitter this week. I mean, a lot of stuff about her. I don't even know, like, who she is until... Well, she was on Senna stream before. I used to watch Senna, but I don't, like, know her. Like, I don't watch her content by herself, but I knew of her. But as I'm, like, digging deep into this TwitchCon situation, it's just... Like, the whole vibe of it, you know, I even checked it out when it was on. It was ass. It was dry. It was dry ass. Like, it was like, who's there? Because I don't even know nobody. I think RDC World was there. I probably would have went there just as to support them, and that was it. Like, as soon as RDC World, like, left TwitchCon, I would have left too. Because, you know, RDC World, those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? Much love to RDC World. But, yeah, it looked ass. Like, it wasn't exciting. I mean, purple shit everywhere. Like, no. Like, I was gonna go too. I was really debating about going. I'm glad I didn't go. But yeah, let's check this out.
Twitch's CEO Dan Clancy goes live on his own stream, wondering TwitchCon. And then at the very same time as Clancy is streaming like nothing happened, Eru goes live on her own stream.
I asked them, you know, like, what are they going to do about this? And you know what they said initially?
Please say it.
They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
Yes! For 30 days! They were banning him for 30 days!
What?
As soon as this happened, Clancy started receiving calls.
How you gonna ban a security? What? Wait.
Coming up that I hadn't planned.
So the guy that... Okay, let me hear that again.
You know what they said initially?
In TwitchCon. And then at the very same time as Clancy is
Let me
streaming
hear
like
that
nothing
again.
happened, Eru goes live on her own stream.
I asked them, you know, like, what are they going to do about this? And you know what they said initially?
Please say it.
They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
Yes! For 30 days! They were banning him for 30 days!
What?
As soon as this happened, Clancy started receiving calls and ended the stream saying this.
Turns out I have a meeting coming up that I hadn't planned. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Sorry about going live and then dropping off. I need to be somewhere.
My stream was doing just fine on Twitch until I start talking about the TwitchCon fiasco. It was doing just fine. Now I'm getting drop frames out the ass, bro. It was doing just fine. Now all of a sudden I'm getting drop frames. I see y'all in the chat on YouTube, man. Welcome to the stream. Oh, for those of you that are lurking, welcome to the stream too. But yeah, 30 days banned. But people, especially quote-unquote black content creators that stream on Twitch, got banned for months for doing less than what that guy just did to Imaru. Imaru, I'm riding for you. You know. Now, granted, I did say, hey, this scenario could be her plan to get more press. She probably know the dude. She probably got the dude's phone number, the guy that assaulted her. But here's the thing: if that's the case, then I am going to lean towards it being real. Okay, because you know a lot of these people, a lot of these content creators and IRL streamers, man, they do a lot of stuff for clout. A lot of stuff for clout. To get views, to get press, to get sympathy, to grift, you know. So we're gonna cross out that the whole TwitchCon scenario that happened is not staged. We're just gonna go along with this and over time see what she really about. You know what I mean? Because I know somebody's going to post about her and her situation as they're doing now because what went down this past weekend. So we're going to cross that. Imaru staging this, you know, debacle of a man SA-ing her, you know, harassing her in a way. We're gonna cross that out. We're going to cross that out. I'm just, see, with me, I do evaluations, and I'm a thinker. Sometimes I overthink. But it's good to you to think about the possible scenarios and the possible outcomes, or the possible, you know, situations that might come. It's good to think about that because there could be different variables of situations, but you have to ask yourself, what is the end goal of the situation at hand? Or it could just be it is what it is. It's not that deep, you know. And that's what critical thinking is for. You know, you have to use your mind. I'm just like laying it down on the table of the possibility this could be staged. Even though I got that piece of information, and I was watching that video when she was talking. It's like, what, like 50 minutes long. I'm not finished with it. Even though, like, she gave that information out, we're just going to cross out the whole thing being staged, okay? For now. But I said what I said about it because it could be a possibility. You know? It could be a possibility. And I want y'all to think. That's why I like spreading awareness of certain things and certain videos on my YouTube channel so y'all can think and discuss about things. Even stuff that I already know. Even stuff that I review for myself on. Or I just do it for entertainment. But yeah.
They actively cover up the role that they played and misrepresent the situation to make themselves look good to avoid accountability for someone being sexually assaulted at their event.
So
Twitch is officially finished, as their streaming sites always seemed unsafe, but that's
we're gonna watch this too.
Now at their convention, they essentially served up their top streamer to a predator, as Miru made her way to this year's TwitchCon, where her and her friends seemed uneasy about doing meet and greets.
The reason I give like meet
okay.
There are a lot of people.
There's one thing I want to say about
this one.
There's one thing I want to say about meet and greets. I don't recommend them. I mean, you got people that are celebrities, and you know, celebrities got fans and they want to meet them and sign and get their autograph signed, or just, you know, meet them, shake their hands, and take pictures. I get it, but especially for women, I don't think that's safe. I don't think they should do it. I don't think the men should do it either. But, you know, for, you know, be as it may, you know, I understand that you do it for your followers and appreciate your followers of supporting you for all the X amount of days and months and years they've done it for you. They, you know, the people have supported you. But I don't recommend it. Doing meet and greets, because that can invite a lot of danger, especially if you're a woman. And you can't expect men to protect you that wants to protect you if you don't follow a man's lead. Okay? This is for the ladies that if you want to be protected, you have to follow a man's leadership. I'm talking about thoroughbreds. I'm talking about men that are men. They're not pussified. They're not emasculating. And you don't try to do that to him. You be a lady. You know? Especially doing it by yourself in a meet and greet. Oh, gosh, no. I mean, you can have securities, but, you know, some rats can slip through the cracks. You know what I mean? Like, go with a group of friends if you're going to do a meet and greet. And, you know, extra security, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, these streamers pay some crazy amount of money for the production stuff that they do, you know, and people to watch and protect them, you know. Yeah, man, I don't recommend it, meet and greets. I mean, hey, I'll do like a meet and greet on a freaking Instagram live or something. TikTok. But in person, nah. But I understand. You got to do what you got to do and make the people that follow you that are responsible, you know, people and respectable people, you know, happy, you know, because that can make somebody's day. You know, guys and girls follow you and they like what you do, and they want to see you because you don't know what people are going through. You might be one of those people that help them get their day, you know, over with, or help them get the day out, get the day in and day out. You know, because you don't know what situations people are, and we do these things, you know, to, you know, get their mind off of things that they might be going through at the moment. But yeah. Lazarada?
Because of people being weird.
Situation.
Okay. And then I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one and not cancel the other.
Interesting. Oh.
So I'm sorry,
I mean,
Emmy.
in order to keep my show. Surely it'll be fine.
Sorry, Emmy.
I'm sure everyone will be nice.
But they won't, as while signing something, this disgusting individual is able to walk up and assault her.
Yes. And keep in mind, the person who pushed him away was her private security.
And he got in trouble for it.
That's crazy.
And he got in trouble
As
for
he
it. That's
navigates
dumb.
to just casually escape. It's terrifying to know how it's
For doing his job.
Casually escaped. That's what happened.
Or only after someone takes advantage of that. As sadly, this is the same streamer that got attacked in Santa Monica, where less than 7 months ago, some...
That's, again, Senna, the clip from before, and that's Ray also.
I saw that actually.
Ray didn't
And
show
I felt
up.
uneasy
She's
about
like,
it.
yeah, fuck this shit. Senna's like, yeah, I don't know about this one. Emmy's like, well, you know, I've got a show there. I'm going to try to put my best foot forward. And that's what fucking happens. Isn't that so fucking sad?
Yeah, that's what they're preying on. That's what these freaking, you know, these freaking psychopaths do. They prey on girls or innocents The heck? They prey on, the oblivious or the girl or the guy that's too trusting. Listen, ladies, there's times where you have to put your foot down and say no. When you really need to do it, y'all don't do it. When you don't need to do it, you do it. I don't understand some of you women out there. I mean, just read the room, man. Read the room. If you're getting a bad vibe from somebody, just, leave the circumstances. Don't put yourself in a compromised situation. Because this moment right here was a compromised situation. At a freaking fair. They're at a freaking fair.
So fucking sad.
Other stalker attacked her and her friends there.
Hey, stop! Whoa. What? Get away from me. Security, please.
As obviously the girls were pretty shaken up, just realizing how defenseless they truly are and what little local law enforcement can do to protect them.
Yeah.
So you wonder if they bolster their teams with a bodyguard. But tragically, she just talked about how TwitchCon banned her private security.
I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy.
Oh, and by the way, there's more to that story, too. I haven't even thought about this part of it. There's more even to that story. That's going to be a real, man. Tell us. It directly involves me.
They followed me around TwitchCon, and he asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him, and the guy wouldn't stop. So he
excuse me.
grabbed the guy, but he didn't hurt him. He was just holding the guy until the con security came. And then for some reason they're because you're.
No, I was involved with something that happened afterwards, and it's again not my story to tell. So we will wait, and that's really it. I'm not going to make any, you guys can draw. I actually appreciate you guys drawing conclusions because a lot of them that I'm reading are wrong, and I don't want people to start guessing and saying and everything. Go ahead, guess whatever you want, but.
Yeah, that's the thing too, man. I mean, I was drawing conclusions that this whole thing could be staged, and then she had everything to do with it. Again, we're crossing that out until further notice. Because anyway, why would you even do that if that was the case? I don't understand. Y'all really want clout that bad, and want the press and want. Because they'll get, clout, brand deals, sponsorships, the whole 9 yards, notoriety, more money. That's why some of these streamers and content creators do the stuff that they do. Because they're hungry for money. But I don't think this is the case. But it was just me thinking out loud and what are the possibilities. You know what I'm saying? You have to tally up the possibilities of certain situations. What could have happened, what could have not happened, and so forth.
I try at least to hide stuff pretty well, right?
Security guard.
And I apologize for edging you guys. I really do. I apologize for edging you guys. But the reason why I'm doing it, and this is the reason why, is because I want people to be able to go back and look at these clips whenever the information and the stories come out that are surrounding these events. And I want it to show that there is a longitudinal veracity to it. There is not just everybody's saying this one thing right now. Now I want you to see and go back to this whenever it does come out, whenever it does happen, that, and here's the reason why. Because I always try to think in advance. people will
Same
say
here.
that some of these things are lies.
See?
And I try to do everything that I can to plant as many seeds as possible in the garden of truth. And I think one of those seeds is alluding to it ahead of time so that it's not something that just manifests out of nowhere.
See, you see what Asmongold says? Hey, he said there were people that said that some of this stuff that transpired are lies, right? And he says, hey, I'm going to tell you the truth of things that happen, before it gets too crazy and things will become false narratives. That's good. And like I said earlier about the scenario that, we're going to plan like a publicity stunt of me getting harassed and da-da-da-da-da. Possibility that could be true. But I don't think it is. So Imaru is a victim. She is a victim. And it is sad that she had to go through that. But I'm gonna keep observing this until something new pops up about the guy that harassed her at TwitchCon, about everything that went down. I'm going to keep an eye on this. And I'm probably going to make a video if some of the possibilities of the situation that happened at TwitchCon came to fruition. So yeah, I'm going to look a little bit more of this and then we're going to move on to the next topic.
Does that make sense? So they can build a precedent. There is more of that story. The truth is sprouting. Oh boy. And it will be a bountiful harvest.
He's like perma-banned from the venue forever.
Yeah.
So Twitch, knowing that she has
Sir,
a history
this
of
is a
stalkers,
Wendy's.
not only from the live streams they cash in on, but the last TwitchCon they ran. And in response, they took measures to protect the predators from her security. Obviously, these live stream girls don't feel comfortable doing these events. They're openly admitting it on Twitch.
Well, they have to deal with a lot of stalkers.
Yes.
They have to deal with actually more of it than... It's like an iceberg.
Yes. As I said earlier, man, like...
I'd never talk about this. Because I think that talking about it is a manifestation of it. And
also
in doing
depending
so,
on
you
what type
breathe
of
oxygen into it and it keeps
content
it
you
alive
do
and
too.
facilitates it. That's why I don't talk about it. But it's a serious issue. It's a legitimate, serious, massive issue.
Yes, it is.
In order to keep their show, they need to surrender their security and basically be served up to whatever predators Twitch's product attracts. As just over a week ago, they promised the presence of armed law enforcement, since several of their streamers expressed concerns over their physical safety, with Asmongold outright saying, "Women should not attend this event," where Tectone pointed out, if they can't even moderate their own website, how are they going to moderate real life?
You can't even figure
Right.
out how to ban
Right.
people that are threatening.
I rest my case. And Asmongold, if you are watching this, which I doubt you are, you probably don't even know that I exist. Thank you for spreading awareness of certain things. But yeah, like I said earlier, man, I don't recommend women doing these meet and greets. It's too many creeps, and stuff that some of these chicks probably do on the internet invites those creeps to come in. Depends on what you're doing. But, creeps can come in all sorts of entertainment or all sorts of things that, people do to gain followers and fans. But most likely those creeps will come if you do, OF cosplay, risque cosplay at that. So if Imaru does that stuff, like, again, I don't follow her like that. I don't at all, really. That comes with the territory. Not saying it's right. Comes with the territory. Like, you should have it in the back of your mind that there are some guys out here in this world are creeps. Okay? They're not normal people. Pretty much a normal man wouldn't even really entertain some of the stuff that, you know, most of these guys that are weird do. I'm just keeping it a buck. Because, you know, most guys, they would rather have a regular chick that do regular things. You know, I mean, but if you do, you know, I'm not saying that girls that do this type of stuff can't be regular, but there's levels to it. So yeah, Twitch, Dan Clancy, get your stuff together. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next topic, man. Yeah. It's crazy in the hood, y'all. Be careful out there when you go into public places. Shoot, I was looking around, you know, look checking my surroundings, you know, when I was at DreamCon this past, and you know, you gotta watch your back. You gotta look, you know where you at. And don't be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and don't put yourself in compromising situations. Yeah, that's why there's times where I just like to stay to myself. Somewhat of an introvert as I got older. Yeah, I want to talk about this particular person. I thought I had a picture of him. Oh yeah, I do. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, everybody. Where is the image? No. I'm gonna make it visible. Alright. Yeah. So. We have lost a legend in the video game space. When it comes down to directing and developing and pushing the envelope to greater heights when it comes down to action and fighting games and graphics in general, especially with his people that was behind it making the games. We lost Tomonobu Itagaki. We lost him. You know, he was a stomp down Japanese. Hey, I'm gonna do this my way, and I'm gonna, push boundaries in the gaming world. He did that. He did work. He put some chicken nuggets with some hot sauce on them combos when it come down to Dead or Alive, Ninja Gaiden, and also he did programmed Tecmo Super Bowl. Yeah. So Tomonobu Itagaki was the rock star of gaming. That's pretty much the best way I can describe him. He took that rock star-esque image of himself, and he was one of the first Japanese developers or director, I might say, when it comes down to gaming, to go outside of Japan and talk to Americans about his games coming up. He was one of the first ones that talked to, because I remember he was on G4 Tech TV doing interviews, about the stuff that, he liked and disliked. And yes, he disliked Tekken, which Harada was his rival. I remember he made a comment about Dynasty Warriors, and that's fine. That's his opinion. I'm not mad about it. I mean, I like Dynasty Warriors the series, but there are some Dynasty Warriors games that are difficult, so I kind of disagree with him on that, especially you put it on the highest difficulty. But Itagaki, man, like he lived it, man. He lived on being the rock star in the gaming world. It helped. He was aura farming before aura farming was even invented, man. Was even talked about, like how these kids talk about it today. So he had that aura, dog, about him. Like, hey, I could put anything. I mean, anything. Make it crisp, clean, as much as I want to. And that's what he did with the Ninja Gaiden series and Dead or Alive 1 through 4. He made Tecmo, at the time, a hit with Dead or Alive. The reason why it's named Dead or Alive, because Tecmo was about to go under. They was in the red. And then when he came out with Dead or Alive 2, that's where he was like, yo, I got something. Like, when Dead or Alive 2, I was so amazed at that game, man. Like, you got these vibrant stages, multi-tier stages, you knocking people down the stairs, and Ryu Hayabusa doing Azuna drops from the chandeliers. I said chandeliers, and going through windows and glass. Like, it was maddening. It was amazing. Tomonobu Itagaki was that dude. He had that samurai spirit. You know what I mean? That most of these Japanese, developers of today don't have the confidence to have that samurai spirit. Hopefully, since they got the first lady, prime minister in Japan, it would change things for the better for the Japanese people. Because I want Japanese to be Japanese again. If that makes sense. Because I love the culture of Japan. And I'm planning on going there one day to visit and see all the stuff that I want to see. That I grew up on. Like 80% of this room is made from Japan, bro. Like, I gotta go. That's been on my bucket list for years. Since I was a child. But anyway, I digress. Itagaki, man, he won. I just wish that he would have came on to PlayStation, but he felt like Xbox was going to push the game even further, his gaming franchise further, and I would say it did. But you got Microsoft and these racist Caucasian folks that's probably jealous of him because these westernized developers can't make a game like Ninja Gaiden or Dead or Alive. They can't do it properly. They liked it because it was under Microsoft and it was exclusive to Microsoft after Dead or Alive 2, well, they had Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, Dead or Alive 3, Dead or Alive 4, and Dead or Alive 5 was multi-platform. Because in Dead or Alive 4 was supposed to be the last Dead or Alive game, and Tomonobu Itagaki, he didn't quit Tecmo. He got fired. Because over the years I heard two stories. He quit Tecmo, but that's incorrect. He got fired. Because Tecmo at the time, it was like, yo, I know you're a perfectionist, but you taking too long. We got a deadline. We got to get Dead or Alive 4 in order. This game got to come out at a certain time. You know, he's probably the reason why that. Well, technically speaking, Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate was supposed to be the first online fighting game in history, but that title goes to Mortal Kombat Deception. The reason why, because it was delayed. Maybe a week or two after Deception came out, but Dead or Alive was supposed to come out with the online on Xbox first. It was because it was called Dead or Alive Online. And Itagaki wanted to make sure the game is alright and, you know, it ain't nothing faulty about his game, you know. But that was the thing. He would take his time making these games. He would take his time, but, you know, Tecmo was like, hey, we got to get this going. We got a deadline. We got to make some money. And he got fired because I think, for what I remember, I could be wrong, I stand corrected on this, he did not drop Dead or Alive 4 on time. And he was going to get a bonus for that, according to Tecmo. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But that was the situation. He did not quit. He got fired. So he went to go do his own thing. You know. He tried to like do other games. I remember there was one game he made called Devil's Third. It was cool, but it just went under the radar. I don't even remember it. Like what was it about? You know? And, you know, him not being a part of the Dead or Alive series and Ninja Gaiden anymore because they fired him. That's you can see the difference of how he made it work and how other people that replaced him work. You know, you can, like, if you go back, I don't think he had nothing to do with Ninja Gaiden 3. No. Let me fact check for myself though. But you know, it's so sad that he is no longer with us. You know, condolences to his family. You know, no, he was not part of Ninja Gaiden 3. Hayashi was part of Ninja Gaiden 3. That's who replaced him. And Goshima and Shuhei Sato. Yeah, and that was when Koei Tecmo merged during those times, or before that time. Because I think after he got fired, I think Koei Tecmo... Hold up, did they merge? Before or after? Okay, hold on. When was the merge? When they merged. Yeah, 2009. So it was after he got fired. Because Dead or Alive 4 came out. I think it was a 360 launch title, if I'm not mistaken. Came out in 2005. Yeah, I think, was it a launch title? Yeah, but yeah, it was before the merger with Koei Tecmo, which is now Koei Tecmo now, but back then it was just Tecmo when Dead or Alive 4 dropped. Yeah, so, and Itagaki's departure after it dropped. Man. But yeah, you can still play Dead or Alive 4 on the Xbox Series X through backwards compatibility, which I have. This is sad, man. Don't know how, he passed, but the crazy part about it is, and I was told this by my friend Antonio, that people found out about his death was on Facebook. Now, y'all know I'm not on Facebook. But the crazy thing about finding somebody that knows they're going to die, which is a sad thing to think about, is on Facebook. Because he made a post on Facebook. And people saw it, and it was just like, I guess somebody that, that was a close friend of his or a family member was saying, hey, Itagaki is gone, and it's very a sad thing that we lost, somebody that was passionate about gaming, because I could see it, I could feel it, I could see it in his eyes, even though he's wearing sunglasses like I am. In a way, I'm kind of inspired by him, because I wear glasses too when it comes down to my videos. I've been doing it since 2007. I was probably the first person on YouTube to do it, actually, as a fashion statement, not just. But I'm wearing glasses because I don't like this bright light, this lighting. That's why I wear it sometimes. But yeah, Itagaki, man, you will be missed, man. Rest in power for sure, man. Did a great job on creating something that is groundbreaking, like Ninja Gaiden, the 3D world of Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive, shoot, even the extreme volleyball. You created all sorts of entertainment with your games. Beautiful women that can kick ass. A super ninja that can just take down everything with the dragon sword. Pause. And putting chicken nuggets with some hot sauce on them combos, doing it. So he has to be in the Hall of Fame when it comes down to game development. Because because I don't think he got his just due. And the people on Microsoft that's part of the Xbox brand, I'm still kind of tight that the fact that during your documentary of Xbox, y'all never mentioned Dead or Alive 4 and how it moved units for the Xbox 360. Y'all never mention it. Y'all don't even show fighting games at all, which goes back to a narrative that I came up with that Microsoft Xbox brand don't like fighting games. They don't create good fighting games. They don't. Except for that latest Killer Instinct game, Double Helix did. But I just wish. I feel like Itagaki should have went with PlayStation to further Dead or Alive or Sega. Instead of Xbox, but he wanted to go against Harada. Harada had PlayStation with Tekken. Virtua Fighter had, PlayStation. And he was like, okay, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go with Xbox. Have my games exclusive to Xbox. I understand that move. I really understand it, but those racist Caucasians over there at Xbox don't appreciate value of Japanese developed games. They're hating on it because they can't do it. And it's always been like a slick, covert way of how they act towards Japanese developed games. And they was hating on Itagaki for sure. But yeah, all respect to him. All respect to him, man. you just never know when your time is going to come where you're no longer going to be in this world. You're going to transition into heaven. That's why I truly believe of, well, as a man, giving him a cigar. I give girls flowers. I don't give the men flowers. I give the women flowers. You give the guys the cigar or a drink. You know what I'm saying? Or some shoes. But yeah, chicks, you give chicks the flowers, and guys, you give guys the, the cigars. Drink beer or something, shoes. You know what I mean? Games, video games. I'm not giving no man no flowers. Okay, I don't swing that way. Nah. You give the men, manly stuff. You know what I'm saying? You give the chicks flowers. But yeah, man, you just gotta. I tell you all the time, man. You gotta live with no regrets. Live your life, cause time is short for all of us. All we gotta do is make a wave of what you want to do in your life. How you gonna spread your energy from different people across the world, and how people are gonna remember you. I think about that all the time. I would like to spread my energy, with love and compassion, and also, have, taught to people to be gritty and relentless and always chase your goals, no matter how long it takes for you to reach that goal. So, that's what I advocate. That's what I like to do for myself as well, because our time is short here on Earth. A lot of people not going to make it to 100 years old. At the average of men is probably 75 at best. For women, 80, 88 years old. So we got to take good care of ourselves and stay healthy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But R.I.P. to Itagaki, man. Did your thing. Hopefully, your legacy will not be tarnished. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, people that used to work for him or that look up to him and they came into, the new wave of developers that created the later Dead or Alive games or Ninja Gaiden games, will take it into consideration if they was to do well. Ninja Gaiden 4 is out. I got it right here. Get Ninja Gaiden 4. Do it for Itagaki. Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I probably will play it tomorrow on stream. I'm supposed to be getting something else too, and I'm planning on streaming. But yeah, for those the guys, I'm mainly talking about the FGC. If you were shitting on Dead or Alive because you was somebody's YouTuber content creator that you look up to and became his echo chamber, and you was one of the reasons why that DOA was blackballed for the FGC, and now you want to praise it since Itagaki has died, he's dead now, you are a piece of shit. And I just want to let you know that. Because where was all this love of Dead or Alive when it mattered? When it was time to put Dead or Alive on the map, especially when it come down to Evo. Dead or Alive was one of the first fighting games to really have that esports television feel. WCG, MLG. That's how I discovered I found out who Perfect Legend was because of those events. I knew about Perfect Legend for a long time. And that was from Dead or Alive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like, he was probably one of the guys. No, he was the guys that I was like, man, I want to compete. I can get good at these freaking fighting games and I want to compete. It was one of them guys. I have to give him props on that. And I did so within my local scene at the time. Because I wasn't really going to no Evo and stuff like that. I didn't know the FGC was the FGC back then, really. So, you know, it was just, I would go to gatherings from different cities and local scenes for where I'm from and win mostly, but lost some tournaments too in certain fighting games. But yeah, Itagaki, he did this thing. The rock star of gaming, man. That's the best way I can describe him. But yeah, man, now the people, you know, that didn't respect DOA because it had sexy girls with, you know, nice racks, you know, and that was purpose. That was on purpose. You know, sex appeal in women gaming is not foreign. It's been done before since late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s, man. He just happened to push that boundary into fighting games. That women can be sexy, look good, and still whoop your ass. Itagaki made Dead or Alive for dudes that get women. And the guys that are scared or don't like, you know, characters like Kazumi and Ayane Tina and Dead or Alive, they was rejected by girls that probably look like them in real life. So they don't want it in their games. You know, there's something you got to think about too, because, you know, art imitates life. You know what I mean? So, you know, or it just guys are just awkward. That's why they don't really like Dead or Alive like that, or they probably never really kissed or experienced a chick before. You know what I'm saying? You know, this Dead or Alive praise that I see on Twitter, man, it's so performative. It's so performative. You know, I've been on Dead or Alive, you know what I'm saying? I just wish people played it more. I'd probably be more into that than Tekken. Because, you know, I'm a Tekken guy, but I also, overall, more of a 3D fighting game guy. I can play 2D fighting games as well, but I really like 3D fighting games. And Dead or Alive, especially Dead or Alive 2, was my favorite, man. You know. But yeah, you gotta have to try fighting games, or any game for that matter, for yourself, and stop listening to these content creators that want to create false narratives when it comes down to fighting games and don't know what he's talking about, and want people to be his echo chamber. That's the reason why you ain't good at fighting games now, because you listen to people like that. You know what I'm saying? That was in the sidelines the whole entire time and didn't compete. See, I competed a lot of tournaments. You know what I'm saying? So I can say what I say, and I can back it up and play and win. I mean, I might not be tournament ready today, but you know, back then I was ready. I was ready to go, ready to learn, ready to win. You know, whatever comes at me, and then I get better every time. Especially to people that I lose to, and you know, try to beat them. But yeah, man, this whole DOA praise that's going on Twitter right now from the FGC is so performative and fake. Like, where was y'all at when we wanted DOA 6 at EVO? main event because the staff don't even like Dead or Alive. You know, I mean, we're talking about Evo staff that only had Virtua Fighter as the main event one time, and that was back in 2003. 2003. That was the last time Virtua Fighter was in the main lineup, was in the main event at Evo. 2003. So I know they're not gonna like Dead or Alive because Dead or Alive is a product of Virtua Fighter. And that's why I like Virtua Fighter 5 so much, because they paid homage and came back in full circle. They brought some of those Virtua Fighter characters in the game as guest characters. Akira, Sarah, Pi, Jackie. You know? Like, man. They might as well make Dead or Alive versus Virtua Fighter. You want to bring the whole, almost half the roster of Virtua Fighter characters? Shoot, that would have been perfect. But yeah, I do appreciate Itagaki's work. You know? Because he did damage. He let it be known, man, I could do this. I push boundaries in this joint. But yeah. Thank you. Because your games means a lot to me. I appreciate you. Farewell. Oh, man. Well, that's about it on that. Now we're going to get on to a different topic before we go. So, as you read the title here, Xbox supposed to be coming out with a next gen console that's supposed to be a PC console hybrid. I'm thinking it's just gonna be a PC, just a desktop computer disguising itself as a console. This is the last stretch for Xbox to get in the green with the Game Pass business practices. I mean, it's cool to have, but it's not sustainable. That's what's killing the fighting game. I mean, not fighting game, video game market, the gaming industry. This free to play stuff is getting out of hand. You have to like buy and persevere. You know, preserve. I mean, games, physical media. You know, and as we can see here, wait a minute, where is it? Moore's Law is dead. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I'm tired, man. This has been a long day for me. I can't even talk today. Moore's Law is dead. Talks about it a couple of days ago about the specs of the new Xbox generation console, and I was watching it. You know, the APUs and, you know, all the stuff that's in it. He also talked about the ROG Alley, you know, which is probably going to cost $1,000, or it is $1,000. It's, you know, $1,640.95. So I'm pretty sure this new Xbox console that's supposed to blow everybody's minds graphically, it's probably going to be about $1,200 for this game system. But yeah, we're gonna check it out real quick. See that? I was right here. Hold on.
During this content, like all the other points beforehand, right? So first of all, I want to be clear about why I'm doing another
free to play with ads.
That's technically doing one a few months ago, and that's because that really, it was just a bit messy, and I apologize.
The code name for this new Xbox console is Magnus.
And watch that video, you'll see that I originally was really 50-50 on if a Magnus APU was going to end up being for a PlayStation or an Xbox. And in fact, in that video, I chose to focus on the PlayStation 6 possibility simply because, well, if I wasn't sure, just being honest, I knew the PlayStation would get more clicks. And, well, it wasn't for PlayStation, though. Within days of putting out that video, more of my sources reached out to me after doing more digging on their own, and through follow-up conversations, I was able to become 100% sure that it was an Xbox APU. That's why I relabeled the video, too, so that if you were looking through my history, you wouldn't click on a video thinking it was for a PS6 and then be confused when you hear that it's for an Xbox, so that if you click on it, at least you know what you're getting into, even if, again, I was a bit sloppy, and I apologize for that. But you see, I also want to mention that, much more importantly, about a month after that original messy Xbox video, I put out what I think is probably the biggest leak out of this channel, at least this year, and that is that a Zen 2 moment is happening with AMD APUs. Really, if you've missed that video, you really should watch that, whether you're interested in PC gaming or console gaming, because it sets up some pretty important factors that are going into the Xbox Magnus, because, well, next generation, AMD's dedicated graphics
Halo leak
and their APUs, including Xbox Magnus, they all share chiplets. That has profound implications for economy of scale, and this is going to be a necessary factor in if Xbox Magnus and RDNA 5 dedicated graphics card can succeed next gen for the following reasons. Now, look, I can't confirm everything that is in a recent leak out of Kepler from Twitter. You know, I don't know if the 10 million number about some deal with AMD and Microsoft wasn't met, and so that's why it fell apart. But what I can say is some recent leaks regarding the cancellation of a custom Xbox handheld APU. The gist of it is correct to my knowledge. I do happen to know on my own, through my own sources, that there was a semi-custom APU that was going to be used in the Xbox handheld, and that actually it would use ARM cores, but that it just wasn't worth it to Microsoft to do so. Now, I didn't get an exact number or many follow-up details as to why, but you can infer that they just were worried it wouldn't sell enough to be worth it. And so I can back up at least most of what Kepler said there. Well, so think about it. If Microsoft, or if AMD was annoyed at Microsoft, like canceling series production, not ordering enough APUs for them to think it's worth it to make a semi-custom part, well, that means that it is very important that Xbox Magnus shares parts with desktop RDNA 5, because this allows Microsoft to avoid the issue they're running into now with the series consoles, where they've basically been forced to cut production, and because they've been forced to cut production, it's raising prices. Not the case with Magnus.
And taking it off the shelves in stores.
It doesn't sell absolutely abysmally because it shares most of its silicon with PC gaming parts. It can be justified to keep making it new, and that should help its longevity, even if it remains a fraction of the sales of the next-gen PlayStation. That's very important, right? That's important for a potential Xbox purchaser to know that even if it doesn't sell a ton, Microsoft can more easily afford to support it and keep manufacturing it long term. But you see, it's not just good for Xbox there. That also makes it very good for AMD, because now, even if it's just 5, 10, 15, 20 million additional dies, that does allow AMD to spread apart the cost of their mid-range die. It will now be shared with the console, and so that means it's cheaper per die to make. But then also, this kind of makes developers give you almost console-level optimizations to PC dedicated AMD graphics cards next generation. And so this whole situation of sharing chiplets between Xbox and dedicated AMD products next gen, this is just a win-win, where it will make things cheaper for both Microsoft and AMD, get better support for both Xbox and Radeon graphics cards. And yeah, again, check out that video if you want to see more about the economics and behind it and the other Magnus-like products coming out that aren't an Xbox next year. But I've wasted enough time. Let me finally get into the Xbox Magnus specs. All right. AMD Magnus, the APU in the next generation Xbox console. So it will be composed of 2 chiplets. One of them is a 144mm squared SoC die that will be made on TSMC N3P. And I actually have seen N3P specifically mentioned in documentation by now.
Targeting 2027 for launch.
It's an SoC die, and then it has the CPU cores, the video out, and the AI engine. Now, In addition to that, of course, it is connected to a 264mm squared GPU die. This is the die that will be shared with desktop Radeon products. And that will be on either N3C or N3P. I still haven't heard firmly which one they're going to go with for the desktop Radeon APU chiplets. And in total, comes to 408mm squared. Now, as for TDP, I believe, and it is just a belief, that they will
It's
target
24
around
megabyte
250
L2 cache
So you're still looking at
for the
something that's
GPU.
like, I don't know, 20 to like 60,
GDDR7
more power consumption than actually the PS6. So a lot more power than the PS6. But I still believe they will try to get this within form factors that can be considered traditional consoles. So using more energy than a PS4 or a PS6 for sure, but probably not using radically more energy than like a long.
So this is the thing. The reason why they're doing this now, and it says it's going to be released in 2027, or is because they're going to have to leave the gaming industry market with a bang or no bang. Because there's probably games that they want to try out and get exclusivity first. That's going to bring numbers into their brand, into their console itself. Reason being, they're probably going to release this in 2026. And they probably want first dibs of, oh, look at what Grand Theft Auto 6 can do on this new Xbox console. That's what it's really about. Or any other big game that's probably going to have a historical moment besides GTA 6. We don't know. Maybe they own their own IP. Gears of War 6. Or something like that. Or another Halo. We're going to have another Halo. Dang, they don't even talk about it. But Xbox brand don't even talk about Halo no more. And that's supposed to be their cash cow game. Their ultimate, Halo is the soul of Xbox. And I don't really hear, people from Xbox talk about Halo like back in the day. Something to think about, though. But like I said, when we was talking about Emaru, I'm just spreading awareness and giving y'all a possibility of things that might happen in the future. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying there's possibilities it might. It might. But yeah, it's crazy in the hood,
Right into
we got this.
But because it's Windows, any
ROG
game
Ally,
on a PC store that's on this device, it all shows up in one library, which is so awesome for gamers.
Yeah, and that's kind of been part of Xbox's strategy, right? More.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for her. This fine sister. I feel so freaking bad for Sarah Bond. They are setting her up to fail. They are setting her up to fail. And I think deep down she knows it. She's just doing her job and looking for a payout in all of this. Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and all these other Microsoft goofballs propped her up so she can fail. If y'all have not been paying attention when I exposed the documents of Microsoft when they was about to go to the court for the FTC stuff, you would know this already. All those leaked documents, we're going to take over on PlayStation. I'm paraphrasing, but that's not verbatim what they said. They said a lot more than that. And I still got those screenshots. I still got the receipts. I'm pretty sure people like that content creator that we just reacted to, More Law is dead. He got the receipts too. But yeah, man, that's for me being a gaming enthusiast, you know. I like to learn about what's going on in the business. It's a lot of deals that have been made, a lot of backdoor deals. You know, but I really feel like Microsoft, well, Xbox Game Studios, the Xbox brand in general, want to be a publisher. So you're going to see more Xbox games coming on PlayStation. Gears of War is not, and Forza Horizon not going to be the only supposed to be exclusive Xbox games to be on PlayStation 5. Oh no. Halo's coming as well. That's a sight to behold. That's a sight to see, man. It really is. Man, man, you should have went to Nintendo or PlayStation or Sega, Sarah. Not Xbox. Man, when things fall apart, they all gonna blame it on you. They're gonna blame it on you. Not Phil Spencer. Not what's his name? That's the CEO of Microsoft. No, you, because you the president of Xbox. Everything is in your hands. But I feel that she knows that deep down. She's playing, you know, this plausible deniability as she goes forward and try to promote this handheld Xbox / Steam Deck. When that PlayStation 6 handheld drops, man, Switch 2, Nintendo gonna skip to Switch 4 when they see that PlayStation 6 handheld. But yeah, let's ride up.
Or they want with anyone. And gaming is entertainment. You should be able to take it with you everywhere. You shouldn't be constrained to a single device. You shouldn't be locked to a single store. And this is the manifestation of it.
Yeah, so do you imagine...
Yes, that is my real name, Soul Mar.
We'll also have the new Ally Hand.
Welcome to the stream.
The big picture vision.
You know, I think that we'll see a whole range of people using it. For some folks, this will be the device they want to game on. They want to take their games with them.
Yo, I am freaking sleepy as hell, guys.
Access all of their stores in one
I'm
place.
not even gonna hold you.
Also plug it into the TV and project to the TV as well. And
Hopefully,
other people we know that are
I entertain y'all enough tonight because I am tired. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
One of the things we did for console users in here is in the UI. If you have a game that you started on the console and then you stopped in that game and you grabbed your ally and you're somewhere out in the world walking around, it actually knows right where you left off and you can go right back in and play that game. And if it's installed on the device, you're playing it natively. But if for some reason it's not on the device, you can actually play it over the cloud. And it's right where you were.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
See,
one of the coolest features.
See, she's doing her job. It's just the type of job that she's doing, the type of product that she's presenting, the type of company that she is representing. It's not cool. And I'm not saying Sony and Nintendo is perfect. No, they're not. I have my gripes with them too. But Microsoft? With Xbox? I don't know why y'all getting Game Pass. I don't know why. Stop. Get physical media. I'm telling you. This Game Pass digital bullcrap, you don't own it. They can take it out of the library at any time. You don't even have this on Xbox. You don't have a physical copy of this on Xbox. And this was made for Xbox Game Studios. But I have a physical copy on PS5. You get a freaking code in the freaking case. If you play it if you try to get it on Xbox Series X. So look, I got the CD. Oh, it's on the PlayStation. Let me open it. I got Ninja Gaiden 4 with the disc. See? And I already used the code. So, I already used it. So, if you plan on, like, trying to get that deluxe code, I already used it. Joke's on you. But, yeah. Man, I really have a soft spot for this lady, man. Because if this fails, and that Xbox Madness, if it's not selling like it wants, it's pretty much their last hurrah before they leave the gaming market. Because they're gonna try to pull an Atari and become publishers and sign contracts with different gaming companies to get, their bread and butter off the ground. They're gonna try new things to subjugate the gaming market as being a publisher, instead of competing like Nintendo and Sony with their consoles and moving units within their games that they put exclusively. See, the thing about Microsoft is they want to buy the entire market. They don't want to compete to get the entire market in their favor organically. They want to buy themselves out of every situation because they got the money like that. Sony don't have enough money like Microsoft do, because Microsoft ain't just about Xbox. They do other things. I mean, I know Sony ain't about PlayStation. They do other things. They do movies, film, music. But, when it comes down to the gaming portion of it with these companies, Microsoft has more leverage. Money-wise. But gaming market-wise, no. Not even close. So instead of actually competing to get the most percentage of the gaming market aspect of it, they want to buy it out and flip it like real estate houses. And they'll be like, hey, we own everything, but we're not going to do nothing with it. They want to turn it as a monopoly. They want the gaming market to be their monopoly. And if you watch that 2-hour podcast video I did with Antonio, you will already know this. That was probably my first 20 videos I made on this YouTube channel. It has Ted DiBiase as the thumbnail. That's the one. I don't know about this podcast. Buy the chip. That's the video. Y'all need to watch it. I talked about this already. But yeah. I feel bad for Sarah.
I've seen so far is the kind of co-pilot integration.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things is you can actually press the button and ask the AI questions. Where does AI fit into gaming? Is that the vision that everyone has their own built-in AI assistant as they're playing games from now on?
Well, we just believe that anyone should be able to jump in and play a game, and we should make it easy and accessible, and it should be in flow state with you. So yeah, the way it works is you long press this button, you can be in the middle of the game, you can ask it, hey, can you tell me how I actually use the ABXY, or what do I do now, or which way do I turn and what happens, and it will help you out. And so it really opens up more games for more people. There's some games that are super intimidating, so many people were intimidated by Elden Ring, right?
That's a great one.
So people will be more likely to try more games, and people stay in games longer. So the team worked really hard to integrate it into the full experience for you versus having to go out, go ask something else. Here it is in flow state. It understands your context. It understands what you want to do, and it can help you.
I'm lost. Where do I go from here?
You're right at the Horizon Festival site in Mexico, so pretty much a prime starting spot. Just follow the road out.
Interesting,
to the area and you can explore anywhere you want to go from there.
Yeah, I assumed it would be watching your screen, and that's how it would know. But it seems like it's also reading other data, like it knows what game you're in, or it knows kind of like what you have in the background, what tools are available. So like it's actually pulling in info from.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in,
what's
y'all.
on the screen, right?
Yeah, we wanted to build your own gaming sidekick. Like you should never have to game alone ever again, even if you're just holding this device. And so it does do that. When you push the button, it knows where you are in the game. It also knows what game you're playing. It also knows your gamer profile and a whole bunch of things about all of your gamer identity with Xbox. It uses all of those to give you recommendations, to give you tips, to recommend other games for you. It's operating in context of what you want and what you must do.
Yeah, and I mean to put it in Xbox terms, it kind of feels like your own personal like Cortana.
A couple people say that.
But it seems like it's that kind of idea, right? Like the voice in your head that talks to you, that helps you solve problems.
It's your friend. Yeah, helps you through your game.
Very cool. So you talked about making gaming accessible. That's definitely something I've heard you say in other interviews as well. I know this starts at $1,000. I know we've recently seen some price increases with Xbox Game Pass, some increases on devices and consoles, and I mean that's got to cut into accessibility a little bit. How do you think about that as president of Xbox, like in terms of making games accessible?
Yeah, there is a lot going on, but at Xbox what we're focused on is how do we create options for everybody. So with this device, we have two devices. We have the Ally X, it's for a premium experience for the most demanding player, it has all the latest innovation in it. We also have the Xbox Ally, if you're a more casual enthusiast who wants to jump in, or you're looking for something cool to buy your kid to put under the tree, this Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's all about having choice and option for players. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of different things that people want.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, the rumors are that the next gen console will be almost more like a gaming PC in a lot of ways. That it'll be super super high powered. I don't know if you can speak to that at all, but I mean that would be helpful for me because there's a lot of like PC games I'd love to play, but like I said, getting the barrier of entry seems like it's really high. So if there was a console that could kind of be a gaming PC and console in one, like that would be helpful for me. I don't know what you can tell us about the next gen console. Any?
Well, I can tell you you're right that the next gen console is going to be a very premium, very high end curated experience. You're starting to see some of the thinking that we have in this handheld, but I don't want to give it all away.
We're talking a lot about the hardware devices, but when you think about those typical games,
I'm gonna let it rock.
Halo, or I remember playing Myst, with my dad.
Yeah. Oh my God, Myst was good.
It was.
Now you're really hitting the nostalgia.
I'm really
going
for
myself.
Yeah. But we haven't really talked a lot about like games, and I know like exclusives have been less of a focus. It seems like with Xbox, we're getting more platform games. Where do like big blockbuster, exclusives fit into this, if at all, or is it kind of evolving past that place?
We're really seeing people evolve way past that. Like the biggest games in the world are available everywhere.
Yeah.
You look at Call of Duty, you look at Minecraft, you look at Fortnite, you look at Roblox. Like that's actually what's really driving community in gaming.
Oh my gosh. Listen, that's the problem. These free to play games are really killing like video games, man. You got these kids out here just settling for Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft, and they ain't really playing games like that. They don't even own them. So when it's all said and done, they stop playing them. They stop playing games completely. They're not going to get a cool game like this. They're not. And the Gen Zs, the younger millennials and Gen Zs, they're doing a bad job of preserving games. Doing a really bad job. When I was their age, I was preserving games, dog. I was getting these games. And playing them. And enjoying the hell out of them. Like, oh man, like when she said that, it's just bad example. Talk about games like Okay, Call of Duty. All right, cool. Battlefield 6 or what NBA, not NBA 2K, no. This Ninja Gaiden 4 that just dropped. Trails in the Sky, the first chapter, the remake, which I'm currently playing now. What else? I got the Sonic Cross Worlds, games like that. The Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Talk about games like that. So, because a lot of these younger cats, man, they're using games, they're not playing them. With these free to play models, it is really killing like the ecosystem for real. Like, you getting all digital games, and then when it's over and they take it out of the library, you can't play them anymore. And then they just gonna stop playing because in their mind they think that's what gaming is. And that business model is not it. It's not the main thing. Get physical media on video games, on movies, everything. Music, everything. If you want to like save and preserve, physical media. Like, man, like people like me and older in my age bracket or older, and we're not going to be here forever, man. We got to pass down the torch to you, all you young cats out there. Not just for gaming, for everything. And know your history. Because if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it or make things worse. Oh man, Sarah, I wish you didn't say that. But that's the thing.
That's where people gather, they have experiences. And the idea of locking it to one store or one device is
like she didn't even say Gears of War, which is an Xbox exclusive type. Well, not anymore now, but she didn't say Halo, Psychonauts, Serious Sam, like, she gonna say Fortnite, Roblox, and Minecraft. Oh, man. Now I get it. Fortnite, it changed gaming. It changed pop culture, too. Because how you gonna have a freaking free-to-play shooter with Power Rangers and anime characters and Travis Scott in the same game? I get that. But it doesn't seem like all these kids want to play is just Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft, probably in that order. They don't want to play Trails in the Sky first chapter. They don't want to play Street Fighter 6 or Fatal Fury City of the Wolves or Astrobot. Y'all probably don't even know. Y'all youngins probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Wait, there's a game called... Yes! There's a game called Astrobot. It is probably like one of the best PS5 games. Very creative game. I think I will give that to my child if I had one. And one day. Because he gonna grow up, he or she gonna be a monster of the games that I used to play when I was a kid. Like, man, like, parents ain't parenting no more. They're not showing them the old school, way of doing things, the values of it, and introducing them to the stuff they grew up in, man. Parents ain't parenting no more, man. They're not putting them on game when it comes down to entertainment and what they should be looking for, But if I'm going to do a hell of a good job with my kids, when it comes to introducing, you know, things in the past that has great value and they can appreciate it, man. Kids today, man, too spoiled for me.
You want to be able to play with your friends anywhere, regardless of what they're on. And we're really leaning into that with this experience because it just opens up another way for you to play. As does cloud, as does PC, as does the consoles that we all own and have in our living room.
Thank you so much for joining Mashable in the studio. This has been the highlight of my week.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
man.
This is the real.
God dang it, man. Alright, man. I'm getting ready to go. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I'm probably going to stream Ninja Gaiden 4 and other games that come to mind. Probably tonight at 9 o'clock. We'll see. Maybe earlier than that. But I am going to be making some content for the YouTube channel for tomorrow, so there will be uploads. Thank y'all for tuning in. I am your host, MasterBoris, once again, and I'll see y'all in the next one.